Bonjour, good morning. It is Friday the 4th of December. It is chilly cold for her out. I'm not impressed. I might as well be back in England with a nice warm central heated house rather than the cold stone house I currently live in, but that can't be helped. I'm here, ready for another day at the office. Let's talk paint. I know a lot of you enjoy learning from what I do here, so I've been painting the walls. I had some of this John Stones matte emulsion left over that I bought from B&M in England for 13 quid, absolute bargain. So I watered that down, and we come in here and we did a mist coat. Mist coated some of the other places. The coverage, you know, watered down is never that great. It was alright. I took a punt on this product. So if you see this when you're out shopping, Sus Kuch Plaque de Pâture, that is basically the stuff you buy before you paint. So you put that on your freshly plastered walls or your freshly taped and joint walls. There's loads of different products, but it's always got that Sus Kuch bit, or whatever it's pronounced. I've seen that stuff. It was €6.50. And it was like, well, that's ridiculously cheap. It was end of stock, and it was like, well, for that sort of money, I could take the punt. So I did. I bought 2 tubs of it. That was enough to do all 3 rooms, walls and ceilings, so 20 litres to do all 3 rooms. And I must admit, I was thoroughly impressed with it as a product, and the coverage was really, really good. Obviously, lighting's not always amazing when you're filming. Let me just get... This is how fussy I am with checking my work, so I've literally been shining a light down it, which is totally not the natural light, but it really shows up any defects, which, you know, I'm going for that nice high-end finish. It's really good. You know, the coverage has been great. Bit of a run there. We'll sand that down. That's why I've got this ready, just to go along like that, so if there's any sanding that needs doing in between coats, that's what we're doing. Now, to finish it off, I wanted this acrylic matte white that I've been using, and I spent 40 minutes in Bergerac the other day driving around, and typically they didn't have it. I knew they were selling it down in Vilna because one of my other clients, we recently went and bought some. So I was like, alright, we'll go down. Anyway, Sharon, who you're going to see in the video in a bit from one of my earlier videos that I've done on my other channel, Sharon and Jason's basement renovation, we're friends, so she's come around to help me paint. And she recommended a proper paint manufacturer, like a proper paint company. She goes, it's expensive, but you get what you pay for. And I sort of thought about it. If I've got to put 3 coats on, that's 3 days work, so that's potentially a lost labour, 600 euros. If it takes 2 coats, 2 days, I save 200 euros. So, you know, if paint's expensive but it does a better job, there's your saving. So I went down, and they've got this matte white acrylic. So same product, but hopefully of a much higher quality. How much was that? 125 euros. It better be good, that's all I can say, for 125 euros. You can get Dulux Valentine for 80, 90 euros over here. You can get similar unbranded products that we've not ever heard of in the UK for like 50 to 60, which are all a rip-off as far as I'm concerned. It's a well-known thing. If you're from the Renovating in France site and you watch from there, you know paint in France is quite a talking point because it's either shit or just uber expensive. So I've sort of taken a punt with this like I did with the 650 stuff and thought if it works brilliantly and I get 2 good coats and it covers amazing, then I've saved a penny. If not, I'll grin and bear it. I'm going to test the wall out, see what the coverage is like, and then if it's good to go, I'll carry on. If it's not that great, I'll probably just buy some of the cheaper paint, build up the layers, and then go again. But hopefully it'll work out. Anyway, we will come back high speed when Sharon's here and we'll get some painting done. I'm back. Basically, we didn't stop. Me and Sharon just literally cracked on and went for it. We've done all 3 rooms in 4-5 hours. That paint, believe it or not, was the bollocks. We put 1 coat on top of what we'd already done. So I've done 2 mist coats and 1 coat of that, and I kid you not, it is fine. You won't really be able to see with the lighting and stuff, but Really pleased with it. It's gone on absolutely lovely. You think how harsh this light is in here. It is extremely bright and white. So in the grand scheme of things, it was sort of worth paying the money, I would say. I wouldn't do it again, but it was job to good. So that's all the walls done. Look, I hit it with the bloody roller and it just chipped off, which is annoying. So I will have to sort that out, otherwise it will bug me forever. We're going to do a feature wall in each room, a bit of coloured paint in each room. So we got some of this Foxter, that's a sandy colour, that's going in Sky's room. We've got a slightly darker grey, that's going in this room here, the master bedroom. And then we've got the lighter grey silver, I suppose, that's going in the spare room. So I'm just going to have a bite to eat and then we will start painting the walls. Okay. I have no idea if this is a good idea or not, but always paint over it if it's rubbish. It's really cold today. This is not plain and ball. I can't get the bristles to go the way I want to cut in. Much pain. I'm going to see if I've got a little paintbrush. I want one with natural hairs really, rather than these fake ones. Got a little 1-inch one. Let's see if this works better. Painstaking. It's too cold, it's not the viscosity of it, so it's not running that well. I should have took it home and kept it in a nice warm house rather than a cold, empty house. Right, we'll now get rolling. In my defence, my roller is too big to fit in the pot. It's freezing cold. I don't want to have to wash my kit out again because we did it earlier during showering and it was horrendous. That's a combination of horrible and horrendous. So I thought I'm just going to use this little one. Well, that's that, all done, and I'll say it right now, I am bloody impressed with that. Really good coverage. Not bad at all. Looks a lot darker than the colour indicated there. Just have to see if that lightens up. Next job I'm going to do is, it's all about the design now. painting there, then grey. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do it. I just decided it's going to be a bit awkward to film it, because it always is. So this is a before, and that is it after. I'm not being big-headed, but I think that looks pretty trick myself. I'm really pleased. Good contrast. Looks really nice. So that I need another coat. Like I said, really impressed with the coverage. There's enough to do another coat. There's a few little light patches here and there. So I'll do that. And then that'll be this one done. So it's Friday. I'm going to come half day tomorrow, so I'll probably do exactly the same in the in Sky's room. So we get the feature wall painted and the perimeter of the shelf, I think. Saturday the 5th of December, 8 AM. Another chilly cold day. Oh, I hate it. Obviously following on, we painted this yesterday, so I'm going to put another coat over it. It won't be that exciting to see, so I'll just come back and show you it again, and it will look exactly the same again, but probably a little bit darker and a bit better. Ta-ta! Honestly, I did paint it again. Right, fairly happy. It's not an excuse, but I only had one little paintbrush that was half decent for cutting in, but it's not brilliant. It depends how fussy you are. Like, it's okay. It's a pass, definitely. It's better than most people would do. But I might get some frog tape, put a line down and then paint up to that and take that off, because then you get a really clean line. I've got a little bit of paint left, about that much in the bottom, so that'll be just enough to cut in around just to be fussy, so I probably will do that at a later date. But overall, I'm really pleased. Let's walk over into Sky's room. So we're going to be doing this boulie, a slightly light brown one, so I'll be starting that top left hand corner. Let's go. Just a bit of cutting in. Let's paint. Okay, that's that wall all done for the first coat. I'll now quickly jump on the scaffolding and do the top. Let's try and film it. Okay, that's that all done. I really do think that's a great contrast. Originally I was going to put some wood on the face of it rather than painting it with a lip to put the LED behind it. But having spoke to Alan, who was the bloke who helped me build this place, who does this sort of design quite a lot, he's got a lot of experience with it, I said to him about it, and he said, to be honest, with the depth that I've got with the ledge, he goes, it won't be a problem, you've still got the glow that I'm looking for. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the LED lights that we bought for this very thing. Hello and welcome to Perry's This Old French House. Today's little side story will be about Govee LED lighting. So basically, if you Google good LED lights on a budget, Govee comes up. It's quite well respected, it's got a good name for itself. There's a multitude of really terrible how-tos on how to install it by YouTubers, not like myself, because I'm a good YouTuber. These are more like, oh my god, welcome to my channel, this is awesome, so here we are with this fantastic product. Talk a little shit, Americans normally hate that. I'm not American, I'm a gobby English boy, man, apparently. Right, let's waffling, let's talk about what we've got. So, this is a 5-meter reel, so it just comes on that with the switch already attached, so light on, lights off, colours, brightness. Very, very simple. It's got a controller, so you can have that next to your bedside cabinet. You can also get an app, so you can put it on your phone, so if you're in bed and you want to play with your lights, it can. It pulsates with the music, so if you clap your hands, the lights will flare. If you've got music on, it will go to the beat. It's got a few different, styles as well, where it can just flash or, intermediate. I bought it from Germany, Amazon DE. I can't recommend Amazon DE enough. One of the benefits of it, it translates to English, like the site itself will translate rather than have to use Google Chrome, for example. And it also means you get your European plug as standard rather than doing it .uk, which means you get UK plugs. There's no point in doing that. We are in France, so let's keep it that way with the adapters and stuff. It makes life easier. You get an alcohol wipe as well. That's to clean the surface to make sure it's spotlessly clean. But as we know, it's all been freshly painted up there, so we shouldn't have no problem. Now, Alan says long term, because of the heat that these transmit, the adhesive, the 3M adhesive, popular, sticky back adhesive, it does fail long term. He said, so it's worth putting a little dollop of silicone. They are aware of it, I think, because they do supply little clips, also with some little screws to hold it down. But what I'm going to do, because I'm just trying this out just to see what it looks like, I'm just going to use some little pots that have got a bit of weight to them, just to hold them in place. And then we'll just fire up the lights, close the shutters, turn the lights off, and just see it work. I just basically want to see how it works without the lip. Just to get a good idea, because it's all about creating a glow, like the warmth of the light. You don't want to see the harshness of the spots, because the LEDs are intermittent. So if you get it wrong, basically you just see the spotting. That's why you can get a thing that they call diffusers, which you put the LEDs inside, then it gets a cover put on top of it, and that diffuses the light to get that soft glow. But hopefully we won't be going down there. Right, I'm going to stop waffling, clamber up, and set it out. Now, obviously this is an experiment for me to see which is the best way. Logically, I think it's best to put the strip on the back-up stand and go around. That way there's no stress on the cable itself. We won't really have to force it in position. And in theory, it should send the light out here, which will reflect on there to create the glow. If that looks shit, then we'll put it on the shelf, and then it will go up and then diffuse. Hopefully, who knows? Okay, one problem I've come up against straight away is it's not going to be long enough to go around the whole perimeter as I've got it set. So it's going to have to come in closer not a problem. At least this will give us a good enough indication. Oh, it's quite a lot shorter actually. Houston, we might have a problem. Okay. So what the plan will be to do is this plug socket will be up top in the attic space, where we will just have literally a socket up in the attic so it can just plug in, and then this will be fed down, and then just so that we'll make a little hole in that corner there. That way, that means, because obviously LEDs there, you know, the technology's moved on a lot, but electrics break, don't they? So rather than hardwiring it, making it awkward for ourselves long term, if it were to fail, it would literally just be a case of unplugging it, feeding the wire back through, and jobs are good, and we can just replace it. Okay, right, as you can see, I just had a quick pipe. I had to play around with it last night when I was at home, just so I could sort of suss the operating of it. I'll just close the shutters now and we'll come back and see what that looks like. Okay, shutters are down and lights out. Well, that is quite a nice glow. I must admit, that is very nice. See, the difference with that is obviously it doesn't illuminate the ceiling. So what I can do now is flick it on its side so it faces up, and we can see what the difference is. Okay, that's with the LEDs pointing up and closer to this edge. I don't think it's that much of a noticeable difference, to be quite honest. All I'm glad is we can't see the individual LED spots, so I'm happy with that. Colours. Let's see. I just want the constant. I really should read the manual. $16 million colours, they reckon. So apparently that must be all the different shades. A load of nonsense, if you ask me. But there you go. I'm really pleased with that. That's really nice. I'm not going to install them anytime soon, purely because it needs to be warm for doing the sticky tape. I don't really want to have them on site until they really need to be. So basically when everything's finished, when this flooring's all down and everything's all sorted, then I'll just install them, because it's easy enough to do the install then. That way there's no risk of anything getting in the way. Right, let's end this segment of the video there.